Hi, good morning, and welcome to today's video. I'm Mary Felling. I've been a physical therapist for over 30 years, and in the last 25 years, I've specialized in an area called the John Barnes Myofascial Release approach. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 3 different exercises. 2 of them are going to be myofascial release techniques, and the last one is a strengthening technique to help knee pain. These are really good techniques because they help all kinds of knee pains, all reasons for people to have knee pain. And I think by the end of this video, you will begin to see a difference. So let's get started. We're starting with an IT band release. And in this position, the only thing you're going to need is an exercise strap. There is a link to buying exercise straps in the description below. If you don't have one for today, just use a belt from an old robe, a regular belt. You can use a towel that's rolled up and lengthwise. And let's get started here with the position. So you're going to be on a flat surface. It can be your bed or your couch. It doesn't have to be super hard, but you can be on the floor too. And you're going to be doing this exercise on your tender knee, but obviously if you've been walking around with knee pain for a while on one side, it's great to do both. So you're going to lie down and you're rolling onto your back, and you want to take your exercise strap or your towel or whatever you're going to be using, and you're going to put it around the middle of your foot. And in this position, you can see my foot's about 2.5, 3 feet up from the table. So that's where you want your distance. You don't want to be down here. You don't want to be way up here. You're kind of in between. That's why I like the exercise strap. I can put my hands through it. And you're just going to let the weight of your leg relax. I'm not holding my leg up, and my hands on the strap, and the strap itself are what is keeping the leg up. I'm not doing any work. I just guide it across my leg until I feel a nice stretch here. So I'm going to be starting the clock here right now. We're going to do our 5 minutes. For those of you who are still taking time to get in the position, let's go ahead and pause this right now and then start it again when you're ready, when you found something to work with. So here we are in our position, and we're working on this IT band. It's a muscle that goes all the way here, comes down and over just on the side of your leg and below the knee. Now, the IT band has small strips of it that attach to your kneecap. And the IT band in our culture gets a lot of overwork, and so it does tighten up quite a bit. And when it does, it has the tendency to start pulling the kneecap to the outside a little bit. Well, when the kneecap is pulled over to the side, it's not gliding in its natural position on the top of this bone. There's 2 little condyles. They're like knuckles at the bottom of this thigh bone, and that kneecap rides up and down in it when we're walking or bending or straightening our knees. But when the IT band gets a little too tight, it pulls the kneecap over, and now it rides up and down on the knuckle, and you start getting pain from that. So one of the reasons that this can get so tight is just because our society is not up and outside society. We sit a lot. We do things that create tightness here. And just as importantly, we do things that create weakness on the inside of the quadricep muscle. The top of the thigh is a muscle called the quadricep, usually just referred to as the quads. And the inside, the very inside muscle of that quadricep, there's 4 heads to the quadricep muscle. It's called the VMO. It starts weakening. And when the VMO weakens, so that's a muscle that goes all the way down here, and parts of that attached to the inside of the kneecap, its job, when it's strong, is to hold the kneecap over in that groove I was talking about. And when the IT band gets too tight, it pulls the kneecap over, and that stretches that VMO. It keeps it on a length, and when a muscle is overstretched, it becomes weak. So now what has happened is this muscle can't do its job to keep the kneecap over where it's supposed to be. So later in this video, you're going to be doing an exercise with me to help strengthen that VMO, get it back on track. So here we are. We're coming up to 3 minutes. And some of you might be feeling this very, very tightly up around your hip. Some of you might be feeling this pulling much more down towards your knee or the middle of the thigh. And some of you might feel like all I feel is in the back of my leg or the hamstring area. You might be feeling it down in your calf. That means you got to work that hamstring and that calf, get some releases going. And we are going to be doing a hamstring release here too. So what you're feeling for in this position is you're feeling for releases. So I feel a lot of tightness right through here. And the fact that I'm feeling that soreness tells me, and it's right where the IT band is moving, tells me I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And we're holding 5 minutes, and if you've seen my other videos, you know that we have to do a 5-minute hold so that the piezoelectric effect can be elicited, and that bioelectric flow moves through the fascia and it comes to areas that are tight or restricted or bound down and dehydrated in the fascial system. That helps, that bioelectric flow helps that area called the myofascial restriction to start softening and lengthening, and it rehydrates it. But we have to give it enough time. So 5 minutes is always the minimum time that you're in this position. But any myofascial release can be done for as long as you like. You can be there 10 minutes, doesn't matter. You won't hurt or injure yourself. You'll just get more releases going. So some people will ask me, my patients used to ask me, how do I know if I'm not hurting myself? Well, when you're working on yourself, there's probably going to be pain because you're affecting tissues that have been so tender. So just know that if you're breathing naturally and you're relaxed, you're fine. And to come out of the position, you just want to very slowly bend your knee, bring your leg back, relax the tension on the strap. And you're going to turn to your side, kind of like a log. Your hips, knees, and shoulders all move together at one time. You just come up slowly. Some of us haven't been in that position for a long time or might have back pain, so you always take care of yourself all the way through transitions in and out of any position that you haven't been in for a while. But we're going to be starting the hamstring release now. The hamstring is muscle on the back of the thigh, runs from an area of your sit bone, you know, the bony part in your rear end when you sit down, attaches from there and then comes down behind the knee. There's 3 heads of the hamstring. You've got one on the left side that comes down and attaches here, and 2 that come down below and attach here on the right side of just below your knee. So the hamstring is really important. It does give stability to the knee. It helps you to be able to come down the stairs and lower yourself in and out of sit positions. So it's important to keep it stretched because it does get a lot of overuse. And many times it is involved in all kinds of knee problems. So that's why we're going to be addressing that today. So find a seat. That's all you need is a chair, no special equipment, and you're going to sit a little more forward to the front of the chair. I'm not directly right on the edge. I am kind of back a little bit, but you can see I'm certainly not all the way back to the edge of my chair. You're going to bring one leg out, and you want the knee as straight as possible. It can have a little bend in it. Keep your back nice and tall. Your hands go on the other knee that's bent. And you're just going to lean forward. As you lean forward, what you're thinking about is bringing your belly button forward as if it's going to come out over the top of that outstretched foot. And as you come forward, you should start feeling a nice stretch behind your thigh. You might feel it right behind the knee. You might feel it mid-thigh back there. You might feel it up closest to your rear end. Any of those places, you're on your hamstring, and that's as far as you need to go. And you're holding. Don't push through the stretch. You just want to go to the end like you've taken the slack out of a rope, and that's where you stay. And we're going to stay here for 5 minutes so that we've got the clock going. For those of you who are still getting comfortable and getting into your position, just pause the video for a moment and then start it back up and join us. And for the rest of you in this position, what we're doing is helping to get myofascial releases through another structure, i.e. the hamstrings this time, that create strength and gives stability to the knee. Now there's a lot of other things. We also have other muscles, the quads, IT band, your gastrocs, you know, and your calves and the inside of your thigh. All of those help give structure along with, or excuse me, give support along with the ligaments in our knee. But what happens to the muscles is over our lifetime, the muscles have different overuse and repetitive use activities, and so they have different strain and tension patterns in them, and those strain and tension patterns begin to change the way the knee operates, because one person might have more stress and strain down through the base and front of the knee, another person might have more strain because of their lifestyle and how they've grown up through the back and the middle of the knee, and all of those cause different ways of how we it's called load bearing, how we bear weight through the knee, and at the end of the day, how we bear weight through our knee, depending on how natural that is or unnatural, can start those little roads towards pain, dysfunction. So while we're in this myofascial release technique, I want you to also think about, you're just extending your heel just a little bit, like you're tractioning, or you're elongating the heel a little into the floor. It's just ounces. It's not a strain that you're trying to achieve. It's just ounces. And it's that part, along with elongating, bringing your belly button forward so that can place the stretch on the back. The telescoping piece is the piece that helps it to become a myofascial release and not just a stretch. So as we're in this position, you're feeling for a release, and a release can feel like taffy stretching, butter softening. You might feel less pain. You might feel that, oh, I don't feel the stretch as much, and you can go a little bit further in your stretch because the slack is starting to come out from the areas of tension or myofascial restrictions through the back of your leg. And as that slack comes out, just move forward a little bit more so you can keep the elongation going. That's the mechanical energy we're using in this technique to help the fascia release. And like I said earlier in the IT band release, that it's always a minimum of 5 minutes that we put into the myofascial position so that electrical flow goes, that piezoelectric flow can start moving, and that's what creates the lengthening, the softening, and the rehydration of the fascia as it moves to and past those areas of compression and injury. All right, so we're well into our 3 minutes. And you can close your eyes. Let's do a little technique. This is a mind-body technique to help release your fascia. And inside, you want to see inside your body where you feel any tension back there in the back of your thigh, any pain. And you want to get a 3D visual of that. So maybe it looks like a pile of bricks. Maybe it looks like rusty old chains or a pile of goo, whatever its presentation. You want to see that in your mind's eye starting to soften, release, and open and lengthen. And you want to see it moving out towards the surface of your skin, so towards the back of the thigh. See an opening in the back of your thigh, and then visualize all that moving out of your system, out of your body. And when you've gotten as much of that out of your body as you can, you close the opening behind it. You're doing this visualization. And then you go back to what you were feeling. Do you feel longer? Do you feel easier back there? Go to another spot then and do the same visualization. All right, so we've got about 15 seconds left in our 5 minutes. You're welcome to continue going further, longer, just because that'll help you get more out of this. But the rest of you can slowly, slowly slide your leg back. Again, you always come in and out of these positions easy. You can do a little bit of marching, and then we're going to go on to our next technique. Welcome to the third technique for helping relieve knee pain. As you know, we've been doing myofascial release techniques, and those take 5 minutes each in a holding position. What I'm going to do now is take you through a strengthening program, and it's 10 seconds holding only, so it's not this 5 minutes. So it's going to be a little different that way. We're going to do 10 repetitions. With a 10-second hold, we're going to take a break and we're going to do another set of 10. So today, you'll follow me for 2 sets of 10. All right, let's do the strengthening for the inside muscles of the quadricep. You need just a small little pillow or cushion and a ball, maybe the size of a volleyball or a soccer ball will do well. The pillow is to go behind you because you're going to be leaning back against the wall. So I'm going to put this right behind me so I have a good sliding surface. And then move your feet about 1.5 feet, about 18 inches away from the wall. Your feet are hip width apart, so I'm not out like this, and I don't have my feet together. So they're just a little bit apart. You're going to take the ball, put it between your thighs or your knees, and here's what the exercise looks like. You're going to squeeze. Watch me first, and we'll do it together. And you start to lower your body. And you go until you just are seeing the toes of your shoes. That's as far as you go. And then you come back up. The whole time you're squeezing and relax. Get all your equipment. You're going to need your volleyball and a pillow. Pause right now till you have that equipment and then come back. All right, now that you've got your equipment, put the ball between your knees. Remember, you're going to be about 18 inches away from the wall. Back of your heel is about 18 inches away from the wall, and you've got your pillow or your cushion behind you. Knees are straight. Tighten, squeeze them. That's the most important. We count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And back up. 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue. Keep your knees just behind the toes. Don't go further. It's a very small arc of movement that you're going in. On the next one up, we're going to take a short break. Take a break. You can let the pressure off of the ball. Go right back in again. We're going to do 3 more. I think that was 4. Right back down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice how slowly I'm going, and even though I'm counting, I'm really going slowly. That's the most important thing. Back. We might be doing 11 here. This is number 6 or 7. Okay, let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, really working the inside of the muscle. If it's burning, take a break here. Let your legs relax, and then as soon as you can, go back, squeeze it. Everybody starts at a different level. That depends on how much weakness or strength you have on this inside part of your quadricep muscle. How about 2 more? This will be our first set of 10. Remember, we're going to do 2 sets of 10. 3, 4, 5. 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm squeezing the entire time, really hard. I'm squeezing hard. 10, take a break, take the ball out, shake your legs. You can stand up a little bit. You don't want to take too long in doing this, maybe 10, 15-second break. Get yourself lined up again, back of your heels about 14 to 18 inches away. If you're very long-legged, you need to get further. Your feet have to be a little bit further away from the wall so you can get enough bend. And here we go again. Tighten, squeeze as tight as you can. Make you bring your feet together. That's fine. A little bit more, just to make sure you can get the squeeze. That's the important piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slow lower. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. Here's number 3. If you're getting tired on the next time up, take a short break, relax this from the squeeze, let that go for a second or 2, then come back to it. I'm going to keep going. Here's 4, 5. I can just barely see my toes. I should probably be a little bit further out from the wall. But you might be feeling it back in your hamstrings too. Great. You might be feeling it in your rear end. You are using your rear end, those glutes, you're tightening those as you come up. Keep the squeeze going. This is 6 or 7. It's okay to do an extra. I'm going to take a short break. I can really feel the burn going, but I'm going to go right back in, and I've got a hard squeeze on this poor little ball. I'm going to do 3 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Very good. So if you feel wobbly or if you're feeling some burn, that's great. You're using a muscle that in this society usually gets weakened just because of our culture, the way we sit a lot. We're not out on the land, you know, digging holes and standing up. We're usually sitting quite a bit right after we get into 1st and 2nd grade. So these start getting a little weak, and because these get weak, the kneecap, they attach to the knee, and the kneecap gets to start riding that way. This gets tight and pulls the kneecap more over, and when that happens, it causes all kinds of pain and problems in the knee. So doing this will help your kneecap ride in the natural groove of this bone where it's supposed to be, and you'll feel this difference in about 2 weeks. So every day, 14 days in a row, you want to do these 3 exercises, and then let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.